Okay, our next step to get our portrait looking good is going to be to add a hairstyle, and that's going to help fill in this huge area right now. It's looking unnatural that we put the eyes halfway down from the top. But if you look at some sample hairstyles, maybe you can find a picture or something online to reference, you can see that you have forehead, but then quite a bit of the oval of the head is covered by your hairline. So when you choose which style and shape you want to do, you're going to cover a good part of this oval with the hair. Most styles have some type of sideburn that comes down at least to the ear. And in this one, I'm going to draw the shape around her forehead first. This is going to tuck nicely behind her ear, so we'll see one ear and one will be covered. And that's why I wanted to wait until I decided on a hairstyle before adding the ears. So I'll do the inner shape and then I'll do the outer shape. Now typically there's a little lift. If a person has curly or wavy hair, the lift might go quite a bit higher. And if they have fine or straight or somewhat flat hair, the lift will go just a bit above the oval. And so you're going to draw an outer shape. This one's going to go covering the ear. And just kind of a flowy line there. So I'm going to erase one ear. And my hair is going to sweep over the side of the face. So it's going to cover a little bit of this oval here. Tucking behind this ear, coming out, and around. And then usually shoulders will be here and the hair might be in front of or behind the shoulder. There's also something called a part line or a split. I'm going to get rid of this part of my original oval. Since my hairline has gone both below and above it, I don't need it anymore. It was just a guideline. And so what this part line or split line does is it shows us hair will be growing in this direction. And then here it'll be growing in this direction. And that's all I'm going to do for now as far as the shape of the hair. I wanted to get some eyebrows on this person and do a little overall skin tone before I complete all the texture and hair value on the hair is a lot of work. I'm going to save that for last. And so eyebrows typically start, if you look from the nostril to the corner of the eye and up, they're going to start here. And then from nostril through the center of the eye, they're going to have a high point. And then they'll end somewhere over here, nostril, corner of the eye, and they'll end. And so I might just draw in the general shape of the eyebrows before I do the individual hairs. I want to make sure that I'm even here so that they're going to go through the nostril, but they'll also come to even height as each other. So nostril, center of the eye, that's my high point. Nostril, corner of the eye here is where it'll end. And depending on facial expression and a bunch of other factors, it'll depend on how high the arch of the eyebrow goes, but typically this is the high point here in the center. I'm going to zoom in a little so you can see better. The hairs are usually growing straight up. They're there to catch the sweat if you're working out or playing sports, and then to channel it, so now they're going to go off to the side. Channel it away from your eyes because sweat is salty and it will sting if it gets in your eyes. So aside from showing emotions, the primary purpose of your eyebrows is to catch sweat and keep it out of your eyes. So the little hairs are going up and then they sweep off to the side and then they taper off and disappear. Okay, there's some basic eyebrows. I think I would want to fill in just a little bit more thickness or fullness. The next feature I'm going to work on is just a little shading to create a chin. And so a tiny bit of value underneath the lip in a slightly downward curve. And with a little blending, that'll create a chin. And then we need overall skin tone. Now this is going to be a lot of pencil work, and I keep my pencil at quite a slant instead of straight up and down. That way I can avoid having any texture or scribble lines. When I'm done, I want all of this just to become shadows and smoothness. You're going to have the most shadows around the edges of the face, especially if there's some volume to the hair. It creates a little shadow underneath it. The face is curved, and curved surfaces will have a graded value scale, like we practiced in class, where we won't see an obvious change from one value to the next. It's going to happen gently. And so I'm going to work these shadows here from the inside corner of the eyes. Create the edge of the nose. And a little contouring or edge definition on the side of the face. And then I'll repeat over here. So I'm going to add a little contour shadowing to the side of the face. My pencil is on its edge. Then I'm going to blend. And I can always add a little bit more at a time, but it is a lot harder to erase without having it look like a great big mess. I need to decide where my ear is going to connect onto the side of the face. It's a little too far. So I'm adjusting what I had originally thought for my ear shape. And then the hair needs to go and tuck behind the ear. There we go. So that's going to be hair. Okay, so the main places that I see values on the face are off to the edges, around the eyes, and around the nose, under the nose, and under the lip. And then you'll put some on the edge of the neck. Lots of blending. Lots of patience, adding a little bit more value at a time until it looks just right. You want to go for a nice 3D effect.